Hey guys, it's Adrian over BHA here. Alright, so I'm kind of bringing you an update to an older tutorial that I've already done. Trying to update some of my older videos just because the quality's not quite as good and it's a little bit harder to see some of the some of the tutorials. So this is just an update to one of those previous videos. It is installing Home Assistant on Ubuntu 16.04. The version of Home Assistant as of this tutorial is 0.56.2. So let's get started. As always, I like to start my tutorials off with making sure everything is up to date on our machines here. So I'm going to run through updates on Ubuntu just to make sure everything's current. I'll fast forward through this so you don't have to sit here and wait for it to finish. It's pretty much just doing a sudo apt-get update and a sudo apt-get upgrade. Now I will add all this stuff in the description so that you can just copy and paste as you're running through your install. Alright, once the updates are completed, we are going to go ahead and check our version of Python and make sure that, of course, we have Python installed. Once we've verified that Python is installed, we need to install pip, which is the Python installer that we'll use to install Home Assistant. So we're going to do a sudo apt-get install python 3-pip. We'll let that run through. I'll go ahead and fast forward this just so you don't have to sit here and wait for it to finish. Alright, now that we have pip installed, we are ready to install Home Assistant. So in order to do that, we're going to do a pip3 install Home Assistant. And again, I'll put all this stuff in the description so that you can just kind of copy and paste it into your install. And I'll go ahead and fast forward through this as well. Alright, now that we have Home Assistant installed, let's just check it out and make sure it actually boots up and everything's running okay. So we're going to do a has-open-ui. Hit enter, and we should just start seeing stuff running in the command line because we're basically tying up this command line interface with Home Assistant. But as you can see here, it shows that it's running. So we're off to a good start here. And just to give you an idea of what that looks like, we're going to go ahead and flip over and show you the web front end. By default, it uses port 8123. So we got the address already listed there. So let's just kind of run through everything so you have an idea what it all looks like. As you can see here, here's the main page. By default, there's not a whole lot on there. But we'll go through some of these other tabs on here. There's a map. Once you get your longitude and latitude in the configuration file, it'll show your current location. Here's a logbook that kind of keeps track of everything that's going on. Here's all the states of the current devices that are configured, so you'll be able to see all those listed there. And of course, here is where you'll be able to view the logs and see your current version of Home Assistant. Alright, so now that we've got it installed, let's go ahead and set it up as a service. So in order to do that, first off, we want to make sure we know where the actual has program is running. So we'll do a whereis has, just to get that, because we'll need that for our service that we're going to create. All right, so let's go ahead and create our service file. So we're going to do a sudo vi etc systemd system homeassistant at adrian.service. It's basically whatever username you're using. And really, you can call it whatever you want. I'd try to keep it this way just because if you're running different things, it's a little bit easier to find. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and edit this file here. All right, so the description, we're just going to say home assistant. After equals network.target. Again, I'll put all this stuff in the description. Service, the type will be simple. Exec start, this is where we'll put that path that we did a search for earlier when we did the whereis. So of course for mine it's just home adrian .local bin has wanted by equals multi-user.target. Go ahead and save that. So let's do a sudo systemctl -- system daemon -reload. And it helps if you spell everything correctly. Now we can do a enable. So we'll do a sudo systemctl enable homeassistant at whatever.service. It should create the symlink. And then once you do that, you're ready to start it. Sudo systemctl start. And now let's go ahead and check the status just to make sure that it is running as it should be. And there we go. It's active. It's running as a service. Now it should start up when we reboot, and of course it's not tying up to command line anymore because it's running in the background as a service. So exactly what we want. Now that we have the service set up, let's go ahead and make our Home Assistant configuration a little bit more secure by setting up a local SSL certificate here on the box, and pointing our Home Assistant configuration at that certificate. And this is kind of a long command. I'll put it in the description so you can just copy and paste it in there. It's basically creating your private key and your full chain .pem files. So you just kind of run through a few questions that it asks, and then it will generate both those files for you. I mean, you really don't have to fill out hardly any of it. I'm just going to fill out a few things just to get through this tutorial. And our cert is done. Let's do an ls just so we can see if those cert files are there. And of course, as you can see, there is the privkey.pem and the fullchain.pem. So both those files have been created. So now we are ready to edit our configuration.yaml file to point to our new certificates. So let's do a sudo vi configuration.yaml. We're going to scroll down to the HTTP setting. We're going to go ahead and give our configuration a password. We do an SSL_certificate. We're going to add this in there, and this will be the path to that fullchain.pem that we created just a second ago. And then next we need an SSL_key. Again, it's similar to the other one. It's just a path to the privkey.pem file that we created. We're going to go ahead and add in our base URL as well. Since I don't have a DNS entry or domain name for this yet, I'm just going to put the IP address. So this is just local on my private network here. At this point, we're going to go ahead and save this. And now we are ready to restart Home Assistant for these new changes to take effect. Give that a second to come back up. So now that it's back online, and of course we have pointed it to our new SSL certs and given it a password. It'll be HTTPS this time, and our address to Home Assistant. Type in our new API password, and there it is. Now we are running on HTTPS, and of course we are requiring a password to get logged into Home Assistant, which is exactly what we were going for. This is the end of this tutorial. Just a basic setup to get you guys running. I mean, obviously there's tons more you can do with this, but I don't want to make these videos too long. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions on this particular video or any questions in general, please hit me up in the comments below. Check out my other videos. If there are anything else that you're looking for that you haven't seen yet, hit me up in the comments. I'll see if I can't get a video set up for you. Other than that, I'll see you guys around. Thanks.